Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Hunter Loves Voiceplay podcast. This is episode 16. I meant to do this one before, but then I had to re-record because the recording that I originally had sounded like absolute crap, and I was babbling a lot, so I'm going to try not to do that this time. Yes, so episode 16, which is another episode in the series of Halloween videos that I'm going to try to bring out in the whole entire month of October. So watch for that. If you haven't watched episode 15, I will post a link in the description, and you guys can watch it there. Alright, so episode 16. Oh my god, I am so excited for this, because this video that I am going to talk about has been the one that got me hooked onto Voiceplay. Now, I can't remember my specific date as to when I had come across it, but when I came across this video that I'm about to talk about, it's just, I don't know, it holds that special place in my heart for me, and it makes me so excited and so happy, just to talk about it. So, here we go. So, the video that I'm going to talk to you about today is This is Halloween. Now, I was just getting into acapella at the time, like I was in pentatonics, Peter Hollins, like very slowly kind of getting into home free, just kind of like exploring the acapella world, figuring out like what it was all about. And even, back in those days, I was looking at artists that were extremely independent, that were like the ones that were Peter Hollins-esque, like where they were making all of the harmonies themselves, stacking it all together, just doing the one-person harmony thing, throughout the entire song, and I just thought that was absolutely unbelievable. So I kind of got bored one day, and I am so freaking glad that I managed to get bored for that reason, because I think it was about maybe late September, early October, and I was just looking at Halloween stuff, because I was like, I need music, because I think I was having a party or a get-together or something, and I was like, I just need some new tunes, that makes me sound hip, right? No. So then I just did a random Google search, and I was like, I wonder if there's even a possibility that, like, This is Halloween, like acapella or something along those lines. Like, I just looked at something that was different, that was new, and I think it was, like, the first couple of videos I had listened to, I enjoyed it. They were cool, whatever. And I was like, this will work. Like, I try not to be too judgy. But then there was Voiceplay, and I was like, well, who the hell are they? Like, I had no idea, because the name alone got me. And I'm like, that's an interesting name for a group. And I'm like, okay, but like, what's the deal with all of this? And I was a noob when it came to acapella, let me tell you. I did not understand the word. I did not understand what it had meant. I did not understand even the techniques or the specifics of it all. So I went ahead and I said to myself, I'm like, okay, well, like, there's probably going to be like instrumental tracks and whatever, and there's just going to be a group of people singing a song, like it's going to be a cover, but it's going to be just like every other cover that's out there. Wrong. So I get into this, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, well, first, let me go back. So I get into it, and, I hear Grim Grinning Ghosts immediately off the bat. And I was like, that is a really good intro into it. I love it already. Because, like, I hadn't watched Grim Grinning Ghosts at the time, but I was familiar with Haunted Mansion. So I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, that sounds so familiar. Like, what in the hell is that? Like, I had no idea. And, so then, kid comes up, knocks on the door. They say, Happy Halloween. We're out of candy. So the kid's like, okay, well, fine. If you're gonna be a bunch of jerks and skip me on my candy, I will give you candy. The candy was a lie. So then they eat the candy, and then they basically fall into limbo, and they're in this other world where they're becoming characters from This Is Halloween. And the concept, absolutely love it. And whenever they do Nightmare Before Christmas, or just even Halloween in general, they are like the Halloween kings when it comes to Halloween. Like, there is just, they go to the nines for production. And it's like, back when This Is Halloween was happening, I don't think, like, they probably didn't have as much equipment as they do now. But, dang, like, it's just to watch that as my very first kind of Halloween acapella video. Again, like I said, it's got a good place in my heart, because it's just so good. Like, you have to watch it yourself just to appreciate the man hours, the makeup, the filming, the production, the special effects. Like if there is any, like, I think a lot of it's very practical, but it's just so well done. So let me go back a little bit here. So yeah, I'm listening to the song for the first, well, like not the song for the first time, but the arrangement for the first time, and immediately you start with Lane's incredible beatboxing, and I'm like, what in the hell? Like, I'm like, I think he just swallowed a whole entire drum set at this point. Like, it was just like, I could not, again, noob to acapella, could not differentiate between real drums versus just kicks, snares, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, this is sick already. Like, this is just, it's got me. And, Ellie comes in singing as the mayor. I mean, of course, I didn't realize it at the time, because at the start, they're completely kind of like, okay, like, this is a new world. Like, where the hell are we? What are we doing? And then as the video goes on, they start to transform into characters from the movie. So Ellie is the mayor, Jeff is Dracula, and I think a lot of people have a lot of likeness for Jeff as a vampire, because how could you not? He's perfect as Drac, just saying. We have Jay as Wolfman, or Wolfie, if you will. And we have Earl as Behemoth. Last time I almost said Banshee, and I was like, nope, that's completely wrong. You're an idiot. And then we have Lane. Lane confuses me. I think he's an imp, but I could be wrong, because he's not necessarily the devil character. He's an imp. Something like that. Like, he has the horns and the, pointing nose, so I just think imp. Because he's just as mischievous as everybody else. So, yeah, so those are basically the characters, and, like, as the video goes on, they have the transformation. So, like, it's like Ellie's chin starts to get a little bit more baggy. Jeff manages to get a little bit of, like, he gets the blue eyes, or the palish blue. I don't know. Lane starts growing horns, and Earl starts growing blue, and Jay gets a full, like, a whole bunch of hair in places that he probably didn't want it to. But there's just so many elements that I could not keep eyes on, and I could not keep tabs on, because it's basically like I've always said this, it's always that storytelling perspective and concept, and, like, as you're watching it, it's like you're basically transported into, like, that, into the land of the movie or the show or whatever it is that they're covering, just for a moment, and you're watching it happen in a new and different way. And with the first few listens, I was just like, okay, I am instantly hooked with this. Like, this is just going to be one of those things that's going to be on repeat. And so it was for a long, long time. Then eventually I was like, okay, I gotta, kind of quit cold turkey and save this until next October, because it's like, I just need to refresh it in my mind, need to refresh it, and I need to revisit. So as I revisited, I could not believe it, because I was just like, oh my god, because then there was more elements that I was picking up on. I was watching the video aspect. And I was just like, holy crap. Like, I'm like, I did not pick up on that. I did not pick up on that. And I sure as hell did not pick up on that. Anywhere from contacts to fingernails to, hair color. Like, it was just crazy. And then I also realized later that there was a lot of, kind of post-production, pre-production, vocal tinkering. When Jeff comes in with "I am the shadow on the moon at night, filling your dreams to the brim with fright," I'm like, holy Jesus. Because I was like, was not familiar with bass, was not familiar with his bass. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I don't even think that that's possible. But then as I went on, and I think it took me just a couple of years. Like, I think I just found this out last year. I'd figured it out. So I wasn't a huge fan of Muse, but I was familiar with them because one of the days I was out driving and Uprising from Muse came on the radio, and I'm listening to it and I'm just like, yeah, da. But then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, this sounds oddly familiar. And the guitar solo that kind of happens in that song, I mean, I will post a link for it for you guys to understand the connection that I'm making here. And so the tune, I'm gonna butcher this, but it's like but it's like slower, just a little bit. And I'm like, why does that sound so familiar? Where have I heard that before? And then I think it was just like a random day. I was listening to Voiceplay, and then there's a certain part in there where it goes from the second chorus to the bridge, I'll say. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm hearing Jeff in the background, and he's doing that exact same thing. And I'm looking at him in the video, and he's having his little bass moment. And I absolutely enjoyed that so much. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, how dare you put a Muse related thing into here and then just try to hide it on us? Like, Jesus, it took me by surprise. And I was like, hidden Easter egg. I love it. I enjoy it. And, so I got very excited. So then I went back to Muse, Uprising, and I listened to the guitar track in that one, and I'm like, oh my god, it's the same. And then I took This Is Halloween and slowed it down just a tad, and I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So it took me by surprise, and I absolutely loved it. And I was like, blew my mind. So, yeah, that was really cool and really fun. And now I do that all the time. I look and I try to kind of strip their stuff down on an observant level to try to realize, I'm like, okay, what kind of parts, what kind of arcs are they going to throw in here musically that was, blind, that was deaf to the human ear, so to speak. And, then once I pick up on it, I'm like, ha, gotcha. So, yeah, This Is Halloween has always been my favorite. And when I go back and I revisit it, I'm just like, oh, yes. Because it's so fun. The arrangement, super, super fun arrangement. Amazing concept by Jeff. Absolutely enjoyed it. A lot of man hours and a lot of work went into that. And it introduced me to makeup work. And could not get over just how MCA Creative Arts, I mean, it's just, the makeup is just, and as they've gone along, the makeup has just, it always impresses the pants off me. So even while I'm talking right now, I have no pants on. But anyway, yeah, I could talk about this one forever, but it would just end up for me being babbling. So let me kind of get into it vocally here. So Jeff scared the pants off me the first couple of times because I was not expecting his bass to be what it was. And then even with a little bit of vocal tinkering that was going on there, I was just like, holy Jesus, Like, I'm like, whoa. I'm like, if I was ever in the middle of the night and I heard that, or it was like right behind me, I'd be like, so, be like, hello to you too. And, yeah, but I give him a pass because vampire. Just be like, I don't freaking care how scary you sound. You know, like, take my blood. Go ahead. Like, you know, it's fine. And Lane, his character just makes me giggle. It just makes me giggle because it just fits him so well. And he's just such a goof for that reason. And it's like, of course, because he's always so impish. You know, anybody who knows Lane, he's just a walking imp. So, but for the love of God, guys, if you're ever doing another makeup and you still a very heavy makeup based tutorial where there, or well, not tutorial, but video that may have to do with heavy makeup, get yourself straws. My God, watching you guys trying to drink pop or carbonated sodas with prosthetics on and watching you struggle trying to drink it the normal way without straws. Jesus, like, it's like, is there a hole in your budget that you just can't afford straws? I mean, like, how much are straws at Trader Joe's or wherever else that you could probably get them at? Like, seriously, like, come on. But anyway, I still get a kick out of it though, watching them struggle, because it's just like, it's like, yep, gotta put the head all the way back and just press can to lips to try to drink. So it's just hilarious. Yeah, and yeah, I absolutely yeah, like, and like the character acting is just also very well done, because I'm just like, this is awesome in the fact that it's like they managed to pick up the arcs of the character, because like, it's one thing just to sing it a cappella, but then I think they kind of were thinking, well, like, no, because like, if we just sing it normal, like a cappella wise, or a cappella, like, it'll just sound boring. So it's like, but what, you know, the heck is Nightmare Before Christmas known for? Characters. So it's like character acting, singing, just perfect passion project right there. And then Ellie at the end, he goes into just that beautiful high at the end, and just the breath control that he has there. Wish I could have it myself. I haven't practiced enough to be able to do that myself, but it's just like, because the first time that I had listened to it, I was just like, oh, okay, I was not expecting that type of an ending. But also you're hearing like the la la la's like in the background from the movie, and I'm like, yes, like they just taught, the attention to detail and the touch of every single arc in that specific scene from the movie, they've done their research and they've shown it in an amazing, amazing way that I absolutely love to this day and beyond. Yeah, this episode has become a whole lot better, and you know, no episode would be complete without okay, me sipping on lukewarm coffee. Okay, but it's my first cup of coffee, so I wasn't struggling through this as much as I was, you know, the last time that I did this without coffee in my system. So I can actually think, guys. You know, it's working. So yeah, This Is Halloween has always been one for the books, and has, again, I've said this many times already, but it's always had a place in my heart. It's an all-around, all-season favorite. Cannot get sick of it ever. I will take a break from it because sometimes my mind is just like, no, I just need a break. And but you know, it'll always be there. If I ever need something that'll cheer me up on a tough day, or if I just need to jam out to something, that is the thing. And then, you know, I'll look at Dracula on my phone, and then I'll just be like, yep, okay, I'm good. So, you know, so yeah, well done, Voiceplay. And I am just so happy to have started this journey of acapella and learning more about this amazing, amazing group that I have become so humbled and so happy to support. And here's why I come to you now with this, is that Patreon is an amazing way to support these guys. And even if it's $1 per month, it's not that much, but it's definitely worth it because you get early access to videos and you get MP3s, like sheet music, whatever it may be, because I'm not at that tier. But through the years, I have upped my tier because every time that they come out with something, they always push the envelope in such a creative way that just makes me coming back. And if Voiceplay is a drug, then, I'm happy to say that I have a very good addiction. So, just get my daily dose of it when I can. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. Give me suggestions on what you want to hear next, and I will see you next time.